Can we convince God to change his mind? I doubt it. Welcome to Daily Gospel Reflections. This is Dr. Ben Safransky. Today's gospel is about the struggle and the journey of faith. I think when we look at it in a little bit of detail, that'll come out. The Gospel of John as a whole is really all about people seeing the signs that Jesus does and then how they react to those signs, whether they react to them with belief or unbelief. This is one of those signs today. I want to look at a little bit more detail at the interaction between Jesus and the synagogue official today because I think it's really fascinating for a healing story. Some healing stories are much shorter and simpler than this. So what happens? What is the shape of the story? Well, it really goes in kind of 5 parts. First, the synagogue official asks Jesus to heal his son who is near death. And how does Jesus react to this? He says, "Unless you see signs, you won't believe." And that seems like a rebuke. So how does the synagogue official react? He comes back and asks again. He insists, "Please heal my son." Well, after that, what happens? Jesus grants him what he asks. He says, "Go back home, your son is healed." The synagogue official goes home, finds that his son was healed at the very moment when Jesus said he would be, and he and his entire household come to belief in Jesus. So I think it's interesting to ask, why does Jesus seem to resist and then give in to the synagogue official's request? Did God change his mind? I really don't think so. When it seems like God is changing his mind, I think we need to ask rather, how does this affect us, the people that Jesus is interacting with in the story? Well, think about the journey of the synagogue official as our journey of faith, right? We often come to God with requests when we feel a strong need for something, when there's something really wrong in our lives, when someone is sick, someone is dying, when we have a lot of sorrow, we come to God and ask him for something. And I think what happens after that in the story is showing that Jesus wants to know if this man is just desperate or if he is willing to react with faith, whether he really has faith. And so he pushes back a little bit to make sure that this man isn't just looking at Jesus like some kind of miracle dispenser, like a gumball machine, right? I put in my quarter, God gives me my miracle. And I think the man shows that he's not just looking for a sign, that he really has faith in Jesus. He persists in his prayer. At that point, Jesus gives him the healing that his faith is looking for. And this is key, the man reacts with a deeper belief and a witness to Christ's healing. Not only does he come to belief, but his entire household comes to belief. Okay? So what God does in this story for us needs to turn into a deeper faith and trust, followed by a witness to those around us. And so my challenge for you today is to think about something that God has done for you and tell someone about it. Could be something very small, could be something much bigger. This is one of the reasons that God acts in our lives, is so that we will go and tell others about his real power to help us and to save us. I have a guest with me today on Daily Gospel Reflections. This is my daughter, Susie. She's 11.
Hi, guys.
So I asked her to share something that God has done for her that she's thankful for. So Susie, what is something that God has done for you that you want to share with our watchers?
Well, I'm getting confirmed this year, and I was having a little bit of trouble picking my confirmation saint because I wasn't sure, what if I pick the wrong saint and then I have to live with that name for the rest of my life. So I prayed to God to help me figure out which saint I should pick. And after a couple of days of praying to him, I talked to my confirmation sponsor over Zoom, and I gave her my suggestion, and she said it sounded like a great saint. And I'm very thankful that God helped me pick that saint. And my saint is Saint Hildegard of Bingen, in case you were wondering.
That's awesome. And so you had something that you had a need. You were wondering about something. You wanted some guidance, and you asked God, and you listened, and He helped you figure it out through prayer and through the words of someone else.
Yeah,
Awesome.
that's exactly what happened.
All right. Be like Susie, and God bless you guys, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.